Hi, my name's Jboy, and like a lot of you, I've been getting links to these crazy charts that are coming out in the next patch on the October 31st. So, there's a few in specific that I wanted to study, and I figured this would be a good time to make a video talking a little bit about how it is that I study charts, and how a lot of people at the top level get to understand charts before they even get their feet on them, or when they're having trouble understanding what's going on. So we're going to break that down into a few parts, and obviously the first one is to find a source to watch the full chart. There are a number of really good sources online, especially in YouTube. The PIU official channel has been very good about putting out good quality videos of upcoming charts, or you can go ahead and take them from player websites like mine on YouTube, Melia's, Pump Vietnam, Nevsister. There's a few other places where you can find high quality chart videos. Alternatively, if you're playing on Stepmania or Step F2 setups, you can use those as a kind of hand pump to try and get a hold of charts in your brain before you actually have to play them on foot. Once you've got yourself a good quality way to look at the chart, you really need to visualize what it is that your foot and your body movement are doing at all times. For players on those Stepmania and Step F2 and hand pump setups, that's very easy. You're actually using your fingers on the keys to try and remember exactly what your feet are doing. It's just important to make sure that you use your fingers in a way that your brain recognizes as the same thing you're going to do with your feet. Other players that are looking at charts like to tap on things, so you'll hear them hit on a table or on a chair or on their leg, in the same kind of pattern that you would want to hit further on. And again, just remember that that's something that your feet are going to have to do later. I prefer not to hit on things, so you'll usually just see me have my hands out in front of me, and again, I'm doing them, having them do what my feet are going to do. These represent my feet, and they give me a very visual representation so I can see and feel what it is that my feet are going to have to do. And then you have to remember that where your feet are going, your hips follow. Your shoulders have to follow. So if something happens way over on the left side and you need to do this crazy turn, your hips are a part of that. And you need to visualize what it is that you're going to have to do with your body. Same thing if you look at one of the stretch sections. You need to visualize, I have to do something to let my feet get all the way out to those stretch sections. Whatever it is that you do during the chart, you need to think about that in your head and really visualize what kind of body motions and what kind of foot motions are coming. Once you've got a good visualization going, you're going to use the speed tools on your preferred method of chart viewing to really get into why is this hard? What is happening here? If you're playing on Step F2 or Stepmania sections, you'll have something called Rush or something called Rate Mod or Rate Differential. You can use these to speed up and slow down the song. In this case, you're going to want to slow it down so that you can see what it is that's coming and you can work on individual sections. Both of those games also have an edit mode that allows you to just chunk out one little section and use that little section over and over and over to really practice at that slow speed and figure out exactly what it is you're going to try and do. And at the end, what's most important is that you keep repeating it until it's ready. When you think it's ready, do it another 6 times. This stuff has a tendency to get out of your head once you're actually going at full speed. Once you're tired, it's very easy to forget what the plan was. You just do it over and over and over until it's stuck into your head, until it's stuck into your movement memory. And you make sure to do it, and when you're done doing it, you go back up to full speed, and then you do it. And when you're good at full speed, you go back a few seconds and you remember when you get to there. How do I remember what the plan is? What was I going to do here? Then you try and put it all together. Do the whole song. You do that a couple of times. Make sure you keep repeating it until it's ready. And then you're going to be ready to crush it when you actually get back to it. So, now that we know how to study charts, let's take a look at it in action with these 2 charts that I wanted to study to the end of the world. So we're watching these directly off of the PIU official website that's been leaking charts out ahead of the last few patches and is showing the good quality version of the chart that we're going to be looking for.
This is the end of the world for everyone, boys and girls.
That's too early. I'm making weird foot choices already, so I want to figure out why that is in just a second. Wow, some of these gaps are very, very far for how long you have to get your foot there. Oh, that's hard to do. So the thing I noticed very quickly is that a lot of the time I'm only going to be hitting with one foot. The other foot can just stay where it got left, so you just focus on hit 3 with one foot, 3 with the other foot. Good luck to you all. Ooh, I moved the foot that was supposed to be on the freeze. That reaches behind you, which is really nasty. Okay, and it chills out a little bit here at the end. I spoke too soon. I need to look at this part right here. Woo! You have to spin. You have to do like this crazy turn. Hold up. Okay, we were okay to here. There was some weirdness, but it wasn't super bad. Here's the first part where it starts to get really, really goofy. There are maybe 3 sections that I thought were pretty tough. And we were okay for a minute. Okay, so it's just a spin. Okay, so we're still holding on to that same pattern of... This was where it was easy. We're still holding on to that same pattern of hit 3 in a row. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, it's just putting you in a very weird spot. So we take it back up to normal speed. Yeah. That's very, very weird. What was the other one I didn't like? There it is. No, I feel comfortable about that one. So what I'm doing is just making sure exactly what I'm gonna have to... Daggone, that's hard. Exactly what I'm gonna have to do. Good gracious. It's very, very difficult, but if you take the time to break down the sections, keep hitting them, and make sure you know exactly what you're gonna do and exactly what the plan is at all times, you can start to get your brain around it. And then you can tell yourself, this is how fast we're gonna have to be. This is where I'm gonna have to go. Really get yourself ready. Let's take a look at the other one right quick. Same as we did with the D22, we're just going to look at the S20 directly from the PIU official channel. And I did look at these before, of course, so I know what we're getting into, but that doesn't help because there's a reason I wanted to study these. They're pretty nasty. I don't know that those are going to be the exact ratings, but that seems about most reasonable to me. So, of course, the first thing that's standing out to me is I'm going to have to keep both feet on the middle arrow at all times. And as long as it doesn't turn, that's not too bad. But that's already gone out the window. I just hit the microphone. I hope that doesn't sound horrible. So for some players, this part during the visualization is where you're going to want to decide, do I want to double step those? It may be better for some players to double step those. For me, I think I'm going to want to turn everything. And this chart is very nasty, so I'm probably going to try a couple of different things once I actually get my feet on this. But it looks like the easiest for me is going to be to just make the whole thing brackets. Oh, that's hard. Make the whole thing brackets. And do all the turns. Oh, geez, what is that? Sorry, the ending made me turn around. It did. It did. It did. It totally did. If I do it the way that I think I'm going to do it, I'm going to end up... Yeah, I'm going to end up turned with my, reaching with this foot on the other side and my right foot behind me on blue for the very ending. There's a very, very weird turn that happens right here at the end. No, I don't think sliding's going to work. But this is the time to look at it. I look at different options for exactly how I'm going to try and do some of these things. And just a lot of experience has taught me to be fairly realistic about what's possible and what's not possible. Oh, that turn is nasty. I hate it. It still doesn't take the chart out from being a 20. Sorry, let me get it back up to normal speed. Still doesn't take the chart out from being a 20. I think it's still a 20. But it's very tough. Yeah. So I'm going to shorten this for the sake of the video, but for my own study, of course, I'm going to look at these parts a little bit more and really try and make sure I know exactly what the plan is. I'm not done doing them, I just want to turn the video off. So we've got the individual parts, we're going to put it all the way back together and try and play the whole thing. Now obviously if you have access to a machine, you don't need to study these all the way through all the time, every chart before you get to them. It's just that since we have access to the charts without actually being able to play them, it's nice to be able to try and knock some of this stuff out early. And it's interesting to me. Especially as you try to move up into S23 Plus and D24 Plus, you're going to need to do a fair amount of this just to try and figure out what's going on in these charts, because everything is very hard. Hope this helps a little bit. Have fun looking at the charts, and we will see you when the patch hits on October 31st.